Today we will start painting your landscape drawings using our watercolor paints. The supplies you'll need are a palette, brushes, a water cup, watercolor paints, and your drawing from the last lesson. If you're not quite done, don't worry. You can finish and then start painting today. We will just be painting the big areas of color, not the details, so we're going to start with a wash. A wash is just painting water without any paint over bigger sections of your paper, and we're going to do one section at a time to try to keep it from bleeding as much as possible. Then you'll want to mix your colors up. This is why we need a palette. The colors straight from the watercolor box are not exactly right. They're not very natural. So I'm adding a lot of different color to this green, like yellow, green, brown, and maybe even some other ones, to try to make the green a more natural color for my wash. Then it's time to start painting. Your paint will really spread out very easily because of the water that we painted on before. You don't need to use a lot of actual paint because the water will help make it diluted and it will help make it spread without using as much paint. Don't worry if it does start to bleed into other areas of your painting. That's going to happen and we can try to fix it next time. Also, don't worry about painting over the details. As long as you're painting light enough, you can always go back and add them back in. Then you'll do your next section for a wash. So I started with the ground and now I'm going on to the sky. Don't worry if your water is very slightly the old color. Now it's time to paint some blue on for the sky. This is where you'll really see it bleed into the grass. And again, that's really okay. Don't worry too much about it. Just keep adding color just like how you did with the grass or the other section that you painted until you've covered up most of the white. After we've done this, we'll move on to one or two more big sections, but we won't do a wash. It's not really necessary when you have smaller areas because the water will just make it spread out too much and it won't look how you want. I'm still not adding details. I'm just roughly coloring in the areas of color that I know I'm going to come back in next lesson and add a few more details. I also tried to use a paper towel to pick up some of the bleeding colors into the wash, but it didn't work all that well, and that's okay. That's one of those things you learn as doing. See how many things you can learn while you're painting this that maybe I don't even know yet. So here's my finished painting. What do you think? Next time we're going to add more details and really start making it look like a finished piece of work. When you're all done, put it on the drying rack next to your class's clip.